It's a blunt message to terrorists who deal in death and destruction. We will pursue you to the gates of hell. That's the vow from the United States as the world decides how to confront Islamic State militants in Syria and Iraq, responsible for the murder of 2 American journalists.
Steven Sotloff never had a chance. A selfless and brave reporter, but from the moment he was captured, he was a dead man.
Whatever these murderers think they'll achieve by killing innocent Americans like Steven, they have already failed. They failed because, like people around the world, Americans are repulsed by their barbarism. We will not be intimidated. Their horrific acts only unite us.
The 31-year-old's family have lived through the entire ordeal, from his kidnap to his death, and the pain must be unbearable.
Steve was no hero. Like all of us, he was a mere man who tried to find good concealed in a world of darkness. And if it did not exist, he tried to create it.
Time is now running out for a British aid worker who's been presented by the Islamic State as the next potential victim.
All our thoughts are with the British hostage and his family. Their ordeal is unimaginable. But let me be very clear, this country will never give in to terrorism.
Barack Obama believes airstrikes have weakened the Islamic threat and more bombs are on the way.
We will follow them to the gates of hell until they are brought to justice, because hell is where they will reside.
South of Kirkuk, a city between Erbil and Baghdad, we drove through a fortified desert compound. This is where battle-hardened female fighters of the PKK, a Kurdish military group, are on the lookout for Islamic extremists. They tell us they want to kill ISIS gunmen who are just a few hundred metres away. Revenge, they say, for all the women who've been raped by Islamic militants and sold as slaves across Syria and Iraq.
We've come here to fight ISIS. They are thugs, so you don't expect any humanity from them. Whatever they do are just terrorist acts.
The women, aged between 20 and 50, live and fight within this compound alongside male Peshmerga soldiers. The PKK has found itself in an interesting situation because technically it is fighting ISIS, which is a terrorist organisation. But the PKK is also known as a terrorist group, which is now trying to defend Iraq. By helping the West, the PKK hopes to be cleared from any terrorist watch list. And given the strength and brutality of the ISIS charge, it's help the West may just need.
And Pete joins me live from Erbil. Pete, a lot of talk from world leaders, but what is their plan of action?
Pete, the British Prime Minister and the US President are very much together on this. They want to take the ISIS threat head on. They don't want to sit on the sidelines and watch that threat expand, so to speak. There are even some calls now for Western governments to join forces with the Syrian regime of Bashar al-Assad. Now, that is something that had previously been thought of as unthinkable. That's how desperate the situation is here. Now, the US is going to continue its airstrikes. The British are now talking about possibly starting to do the same, but with respect to that British hostage, David Cameron says he will not pay for his release. Pete?
All right, Peter, thank you.